everyone. Welcome to Kump.
Hello.
Hello, Lucie.
How you doing? I like your drip today.
Oh, thank you very much. Yes, this is my spring drip. A little bit early.
I do see how it has, like, it has some of the themes of the season in there.
Sure, just pain and friskiness and when there's blood in the streets, make a deal. That's what my dad always told me. When there's blood in the streets, hide in the basement and try to make a deal with people, coming by. Or what you got in the basement? Maybe you have supplies down there. Hey, you got bread, and you swap them for some ball bearings. Yeah. Because springtime is a time when people come out, and you got people have been cooped up all winter, and now they're ready to get into a little trouble.
Oh yeah.
And so it's a time of rebirth, but also a time when maybe you get your comeuppance for being walking around thinking no one can get to you. Yeah.
Absolutely. Every time I look at a tree, a cherry blossom tree blooming, I think, and now comes the horror.
Right. Well, I mean, what is do you have a springtime memory?
A springtime memory.
And to be clear, I mean, when you get that maybe you're still stuck in the snow in Milwaukee, but when you get that first whiff of the warm air, and then and it's just a breeze, and there's sun in the sky.
Yeah.
What comes to your memory?
I remember springtime when I was in school, when I was a little kid.
Yeah.
That was always the time of year when we had our big, our big feats of strength day, like where we'd do tug of war and do relay races.
Yeah.
And that was kind of fun.
Right. I have this memory similar where, because there was this kind of weird, like sometimes you're in the suburbs, you have like a street that has like a thing in the middle with like two, like grass and gets overgrown because it's like, what is that little island in the middle? I would walk past it on the way home from school. And there was like in the spring, I remember every time I think about it, there was this like dead fox or something. I think it was a fox. It was small.
A dead fox.
But it just kind of rotted all spring.
Wow.
Into the summer. Maybe it was some kind of other thing, like a lynx. I don't know what a lynx is. Maybe it was a lynx.
That's true. Yeah, that happens in the city sometimes too. If you have a regular commute from one place to another, every once in a while you get to see the full cycle of decay of a squirrel or a rat. But I've never seen a rotting fox. That's really
I was young. Maybe it was just a big squirrel that got it was bloated. I'm not. Don't hold me to it. Maybe it was a chipmunk. I don't know. But I remember thinking it was a fox as a kid. But yeah, that's the thing. You grow up, a lot of people grow up thinking, oh, well, that's just someone's job. So like if something dies where it doesn't belong, it gets cleaned up. And as you get older, you realize that's not one's job.
No.
I mean, if it is, no one's doing it. I mean, I guess there's other.
And if they are, they can only do so much.
Right. Maybe we just have so many more, dead animals that just get like, I mean, I passed one the other day. It was like a rat. And it was just there.
Did you call the rat czar?
Who am I going to call? Who was that? Amy Klobuchar?
Are we paying someone $300K a year to be our rat czar?
Right, there was a rat czar. Whatever happened to that person? I should definitely call the rat czar. In New York, we have a rat czar, and I think they went to jail. But don't quote me on that. I don't want to be guilty of slander by saying the rat czar is in prison. Rat czar. But it's possible that the rat czar.
It'd be funny if it's not really a person. We're just paying $300K a year to a giant jar.
Yeah.
That's full of rats.
Yeah, if I was the mayor of New York City, I would just bury a jar every spring in some disabused field. Every neighborhood gets their own jar, like a big jug. You know what I mean? Like what you'd serve iced tea out of at a family reunion. Or some kind of pickup basketball game. And we'd bury it to be flush with the ground, and that's where we'd throw rats. And you go, well, won't water get in there and make like a rat soup? And you go, well, that's an interesting question. We could put a lid, but I mean, someone's going to steal the lid. Because, why wouldn't you steal the lid? It'll just get, and you go, and I'm not even being facetious. Someone will steal the lid. They steal my mail.
Yeah, I mean, that's not a bad idea. Like, there's containers for everything that's supposed to be disposed of, right? Recycling cans, garbage cans.
Right.
If you put a dispenser out there and said, this is for dead rats, probably a few people would be good sports about it and throw them in there.
You know, it might incentivize people to start dealing with the rats. You know, if you knew there was something to do with it, maybe you get a little thing, a little nice thing. Mm-hmm. Every time you find a rat in the subway and you take matters in your own hands and you bring it to the local jar, you get like a scratch off ticket or some kind of like, you know, plenary indulgence. Remember that? The whole thing that Martin Luther hated, where it was like you go to heaven.
Yeah,
I'm sick of this whole Martin Luther don't sell tickets to heaven nonsense. I remember like, oh, he was right. The church was corrupt. How you getting to heaven now? I got like what, bathe the homeless?
Probably even the people back then were like, we know they're not real, but like, you know, it's like anything else.
It's comforting. I'll buy a ticket. Like I'll build you a peasant's footbridge and just give me a plenary indulgence. It's like when you have a kid, like some nephew or whatever, and they're like, oh, we're gonna do a tea party. Like, well, all right, and they here, drink the tea. You know, they always do that. They put it up to the stuffed animal, and they go, and you gotta pretend like tea is being drunk, right, for the sake of a child's imagination. That's what this feels like. That it feels like, you know, this is some kind of like sick, twisted. What was I referring to just now?
The plenary indulgences?
Right, the plenary indulgences. This is like, you know, I'm gonna build a peasant's bridge. I'm sorry, I couldn't remember. Why didn't it come off the tip of my tongue that I was talking about plenary indulgences in 2025? But you would build a footbridge for the peasants to some church, and there we go. Well, here's a ticket to heaven. You know, thanks. Mm. I guess they were also just, you know, killing people and then taking the indulgences.
Right, like as bribes.
I don't care. I'm doing that. If I kill a rat, let me go to heaven. You know? What's wrong with this society? Why are we not incentivizing winning? We have a Patreon. It's patreon.com/RayCump. Right? You get an extra episode every week. So if that's up your bag of tricks, then maybe you'll like that. Up your sleeve? Is that the expression? Up your bag of tricks? I think this is right up your bag of tricks, ma'am. Jesus. No, but we have that. And so it's an option. And then that way we can move to a place where, you know, we're not being, you know, harassed by, you know, gang stalkers. Is that what they call it?
You're getting gang stalked?
I feel like I'm being gang stalked all the time. I'm always, my head's on a swivel.
Yeah.
And women, you know, I saw some meme where it's like women are la-di-da and men are just head in their swivel. And I was like, that's me. That's me looking for who's gonna end my life. And also don't forget, you know, if you don't want to take that big leap into the unknown, you know, at least like and subscribe to the show. Like and subscribe, notification bell, bag of ham, you know, kiss the milkman on the way out, subscribe.
Yeah.
To Kump. Anyway, but yeah, no, I wonder sometimes if people are too wary of the wild. And by that I mean nature? Like robbing animals to go out and, you know, I mean, you know, like I'm fine with it. Mm-hmm. But I mean, I wonder if people feel like, you know, oh, I'd love to go out to the state park, but what if I stumble upon, you know, a deer,
right,
or a person who's no longer, you know, part of the situation.
What are you talking about? Are you talking about people being worried about finding a dead body out there?
Well, of any kind.
Yeah. Well, I'm definitely worried about that.
Yeah, I mean, you should be wander around, and you know, I don't think you're mentally prepared. I've seen every sort of thing. I'm a man of the world, so I'm not worried about it. But there are people who, you know, things are escalating out there. Things are. You can call it class warfare. You can call it social, you know, angst. You can call it the end times. But people are trying to hunker down.
Tensions are high.
Right. And some people are trying to build some kind of fortress for the future.
Would you want to move to the line?
Well, you brought this up. People don't know what that is. I'm sorry.
Well, many people do know what it is. But I think, look, you haven't seen this yet.
I've not heard about this till today, apparently. So I'm sorry if I'm biased. I had no idea that Saudi Arabia, let's show this. Saudi Arabia has been developing a 100-mile-long skyscraper in the desert. And apparently it's not going, you have what is this, the highlight?
Well, just keep an open mind about it for a second. I want to see if this trailer convinces you at all.
Okay.
For too long, humanity has existed within dysfunctional and polluted cities that ignore nature.
This feels like a Call of Duty game.
Now, a revolution in civilization is taking place.
And you get a gun.
Imagine a traditional city and consolidating its
Where your wife does what she's told.
Designing to protect and enhance nature. The line will be home to 9 million residents.
Half of whom are in burqas.
Just 34 square kilometers. And we are designing it to provide a healthier, more sustainable quality of life. The line's communities
for the royal
are
family.
Organized in
Look, it's
three
three
dimensions.
So this seems like it is three-dimensional. Well, I would hope that the city would be three-dimensional in the desert. But yeah, it seems like it's being designed. This seems like one of these money funneling kind of operations. But just like, hey, why are we bother going to America with their tariffs? And their risky business. We'll just build a useless, empty thing in the desert that no one goes to. Instead of having skyscrapers in Manhattan that no one is inside of, that depress wages. I mean, not wages, but that they increase the real estate cost for everyone, even people who live in very meager places. By trickle, that's a trickle down effect. We'll just build an empty box.
They can live here too.
What's what I'm saying? They can build an empty box in the desert and not go to that.
They have green spaces in
Let this raise the prices in Riyadh.
Residents have access to all their daily needs.
Look, business,
within 5-minute walk
retail.
neighborhoods.
What else?
Everything's a 5-minute walk. He's like, what happens if 6 minutes away? Don't worry about that. You don't want to know what happens 6 minutes away. 5 minutes away is fine. You get a baguette. You get some fresh honey. 6 minutes away, you need a new wife because she's been taken. Your children have been commodified. 6 minutes away, but 5 minutes away. Ooh, is that a new coffee shop?
And the line's infrastructure makes it possible to travel end to end in 20 minutes.
So this thing is a giant glass wall in the desert. I mean, is this even a nice desert?
That's a good question.
I know very little about deserts, but I mean, I don't want to say it looks random, but it doesn't seem like anything is approaching this desert or this wall. It seems like they're just kind of in the middle of a desert and nothing else. It just seems like normally you kind of build something and then you build something next to it. Mm-hmm. I guess there's Las Vegas, but
I wonder if there's any significance to it, like kind of looking like it's invisible. Like,
yeah, because it doesn't exist probably. Because this whole thing's fake. I don't know.
With no need for cars, resulting in 0 carbon emissions.
Which is good because we also have 0 food. And then the water is, do I even have to talk about we're in the desert. Did you think glass made water? I mean, this is me. I'm just hoping to be a middle manager at the line. Is what it's called, the line?
Mm-hmm. Maybe, yeah, you could be like the general manager of the Cold Stone Creamery at the line.
Yeah. I'm like, did you people think that there was water here? Hey, we're in the desert. I'm here because I went through a messy divorce. I tried to reinvent myself at the line.
By leveraging AI technology, services are autonomous.
Look, there's like floating things. Are they saying we're gonna have that there's gonna be a hovercraft in there? It's almost implying that there's gonna be hovercraft.
Yeah, I mean, sure.
Would you live at the line if you could drive a hovercraft?
Would you live at the line if we delivered gummy bears and My Little Ponies? Just as realistic as having a hovercraft inside of a giant coffin in the desert. A glass coffin.
Designed by world-leading architects, the line is 500 meters tall,
They're showing the Empire State Building and the Eiffel Tower. So it's taller than them, but also, I don't know. This doesn't seem sustainable.
200 meters wide.
This seems like the best bunker. Like this seems like that movie. Like someone watched that movie with the train. Where they go
Snowpiercer.
Snowpiercer. Like what if that was just stationary?
170 kilometers long and housed within an elegant mirror glass facade.
This feels like the next cube.
Create efficiency and year-round temperate microclimate with natural ventilation. Energy and water supplies are 100% renewable.
Because it's people. You are the energy. I mean, it's basically the Matrix.
The line is designed as a series of unique communities, offering a wealth of amenities, providing equitable views,
including holes for toilets, places to maraud,
and immediate access to the surrounding nature.
What nature? The desert. It's a fucking desert. What nature?
With 40% of the world accessible within 6 hours.
What are you talking about? What? You talking about because the ocean's like 90% of the world? Like, well, you can just go in the ocean and drift. It's 6 hours. They mean like it's 6 hours to the ocean and then you can go like access the world.
Right. Yeah. Exactly.
Otherwise, there's nothing.
And it's also like, what kind of person who travels like all around the world for their job would ever live here?
This seems like a giant prison. Now, is it too nice to be a prison? Well, there's the rub.
At the heart of the globe's key trade routes.
What?
A place for commerce and communities.
You mean like London and like New York and like Beijing or Shanghai, right? Mm-hmm. Not near any of them.
To thrive like nothing on Earth seen before. The Line, the city that delivers new wonders for the world.
Well, that's interesting. So I guess this has all gone very well.
Well, you would think that it would be an astoundingly successful project, but actually they're having a little trouble.
Right. Okay. Right. Because that's why I call it a disaster in the other article.
Right.
Okay. Not because it was. I assume they meant because it's garish and why would you give all the rich people are very upset? Why would you give all this amazing skyscraper to the poor or the middle class? But no. Apparently, it's not good.
No.
Apparently, it was a scam.
Saudi Arabia's 100-mile skyscraper is turning into a disaster.
It's very interesting.
The Saudi crown family's megalomaniac dreams of building a gigantic city of the future in the middle of the desert are getting a brutal reality check. Saudi Arabia's plans for Neom, a futuristic fever dream which includes a massive all-inclusive resort on the coast, a second ski resort in the mountains, and an up to 106 miles long pair of 1,600-foot skyscrapers called The Line, is running into financial problems.
Here's the problem. Here's the overall problem. No one, and we'll get to the details in a second, but I mean, off the top of my head, rich people, because this is a rich person's place, right? Mm-hmm. They don't want something where you can do everything.
Right.
That's not the point of being. The point of being rich.
That's a good point. Yeah.
It's not. Now, they might have the last laugh if the world turns asunder, and then the line is somehow, just the line in civilization, where you can still go skiing. We draw the line here against the marauding hordes, the zombie overlords, and the liberal Nazis and the conservative Nazis.
Look, if the location were convenient enough, I would say this would be a great location for our idea for Divorce City, where divorcees have to go as a kind of punishment. Between time with their children. What
was the difference with Divorce City and you go subscribe to Kump and go back in the back channels and look for Divorce City. It was like a year or two ago. Great idea, great concept. Mm-hmm. What was the key factor? It's where you could afford to live once you got, hosed in the divorce.
Right. Yeah.
Oh, it's also, but
it's also kind of legally obligated.
We mandated it because your kids should live in a nicer house, so you had to stay in Divorce City.
Rather than making your kid travel back and forth between two houses, you come to them.
Right.
And between those, you stay in Divorce City.
So Saudi Arabia has taken their idea and put a little spin on it, where it's just like it's a glitzy prison that they're parading around as a resort.
Exactly.
Where it's like, oh, this is kind of useless, but will make more sense. Like, it's almost like these skyscrapers in New York. Like, they're empty now, but wait till the water rises.
Right.
Like, okay. Still, I don't think I'd like to live. Why can't it be in Greenland?
Yeah. When are we getting Greenland? Is that happening?
Next week, probably? I don't know.
When's that happening?
Whenever
Greenland
Trump
fixes a lot of our problems.
Whenever
honestly,
President Trump, the esteemed President Trump and Elon Musk decide to stop tanking our economy, and by that I mean my wallet, with their chaotic monetary policies, or whatever you call it, fiscal policies, policies where they just threaten tariffs. I'm all for threatening other countries. Can we do it where it doesn't hurt I don't lose thousands of dollars? But whatever.
As the Wall Street Journal reports, capital expenditure estimates to build NEOM to what officials call its end state by 2080. And those costs have ballooned to $8.8 trillion.
$8 trillion for the wall. The line.
The line, yeah.
The hole. What are the actual issues here? What am I missing? What's the story?
It's just the costs are getting out of control.
It's expensive.
Yeah.
Because of what? Do they not know how much wood costs and metal cost? Is this because of tariffs?
Well, I guess it probably has something to do with I would guess it has something to do with all of these different areas of it that they want to create, like creating kind of like a natural environment, while also basically doing a bunch of condos.
Is this going to be the new Branson, Missouri?
Wait.
Branson, Missouri is a place in Missouri where it's a city they built where it's just like it's like the #1 live music capital of the country or whatever. It's like all family acts, and then it's just and like you can go see country music or whatever, and it's real nice. And there's no one's there, screaming about their pussy. No one's there fucking going, I have an open wound. What am I? He's a riddle. No one's playing riddles when they introduce themselves, and no one's protecting you from the police truncheon either. It's a simpler way. Yeah, simpler. I don't know. It's like that. You never heard of Branson, Missouri?
No, I haven't.
Oh wow, it's popular. You're not. I'm a man of the people.
It sounds fun.
It's fun, not to me. I don't want to be there.
You, me, and Dana should should start a family act and go to Branson.
Where
the streets are paved with gold.
You want to revitalize? You tell me you want to revitalize the vaudeville model with our cat.
Yeah.
And go to Branson, Missouri, and then do what? What's our act? What do you, I, and my cat do? Like do
Well, we gotta work out the details, but maybe Dana can do. She's actually a great jumper. She could do her jumps through a hoop while we play the banjo.
I think we should do an act where the cat comes to me saying she wants, she's a boy now, and I start berating her and bringing out the Bible, right? I go, this is God doesn't want you to make decisions, all right? Just go to the line. Get in line at the line. You know where Riyadh is? And the cat's just looking at me. And no one understands what's going on. These people in Branson are like, look, we like that you're being assertive. You're the big daddy. But we don't know what the line is. We didn't read that article. I know your wife thinks that everyone knows what the line is because they follow Saudi Arabian real estate developments. So I mean, the rich want to be able to I'm in Stad and now I'm in Montecito,
right?
I'm in Palm Springs, Palm Beach. They like the jet set. They like to move around with the seasons. That's what they like. They don't like the idea of being in because this thing is big, right? Mm-hmm. There's not that many rich people. There's a lot of rich people compared to us, but they're not. I don't know if there's enough to fill. Like, how many people go into the line?
Right.
Does it say? What's the capacity of this million of this thing? I mean, it's got to be at least 10,000 people, right? Is it any?
I don't know if that's even been determined yet.
That seems reckless. Well, anyway.
It said 9 million residents.
Yeah, I mean, rich people don't want to live with 9 million other people.
Yeah, they want to live at the end of a train line somewhere.
Yeah.
It takes 3 hours to get there.
Right. I mean, it's also like, how do you build a nice estate in the line? How do you flex? How do you build? How do you subjugate the local government of other rich people to build like Ira Renner and build the biggest estate in the Hamptons?
Right.
Or is it technically it's the Hamptons? Yeah, it's the Hamptons. How do you do that? What's this called? What's that house called? $1 trillion? You can't do that in a box. People just want simple things. People want, a nice cold beer. They want, a weapon, preferably a gun. And they want baseball or some, football. They you know what they want.
Right.
Stop building, exotic exhorts. This is gonna end up being like a giant, waste, like a Mad Max thing.
Yeah. Yeah, it seems it doesn't seem well conceived. And then there's I don't know, there was another part in here about they were just manipulating costs. I think they just started lying about.
Well, I mean, what is it? Who's doing this? Is it the royal family?
That's getting involved in this.
Who's making the line?
Right. Yeah. Well, it is the Crown Prince's
sovereign
project,
wealth fund. Yeah. I don't like that. The guy who locked a bunch of billionaires in in a hotel,
right?
And made them sign over to as well. I don't know if I get in a box of that guy, Mohammed bin Salman. Mm-hmm. I mean, I'd love to. If he wants to reach out, I'm I'm open minded. I love it. If you want wine and dine to Kump podcast, and maybe we can tour. I would not take that invitation. I was about to say, if you want to take us, let's go on a tour of the line. We would never come back. We would never leave the line. The line is a very ominous name.
Oh man, imagine having the whole line. Would you live in the line if you could have the whole line to yourself?
What do you mean, like I Am Legend? Like I'm Will Smith? Yeah. I'm slapping Chris Rock for eternity? I mean, I guess it has a lure. I mean, is it gonna run? Or is it gonna be hot?
I mean, maybe it'll kind of be dysfunctional in some areas, more functional in others.
I feel like it's always hot.
There's nobody there but you. You can't, there's not a staff running it, so.
Right. So, yeah probably not. I probably won't go out to the desert by myself and stumble upon a giant 1 mile long skyscraper or 20 mile long skyscraper.
Fair enough.
And just squat in it. I think maybe I'll take a chateau before that. Moving on. What we got here? This is so look. I mean, there's a lot of flux going on with the government and society. People are being heard, and Robert Kennedy Jr., the son of Robert Kennedy Sr., it has been made the Health and Human Services Director, and I thought he was gonna deal a lot with food. With making food less bad for you. Maybe take the food out of my mouth. Hey, let's cook this, and this is cooked in trans fat. All right, make it illegal. Make it easier for me. Go ahead. I don't know if you have the right. This is American, but whatever. Get rid of fine. But it seems like all he wants to do is talk about anti-Semitism. And now...
Oh, right. Yeah, that weird... Let me see if I can find that. That's strange.
Yeah, it's fun. It's just but now he's got a new thing. You have it here?
Yeah. So Robert Kennedy links measles outbreak to poor diet and health. In a recent interview, the health secretary also suggested that the measles vaccine had harmed children in West Texas.
Oh, this is different. Okay, this is the new thing. So he's linking. So Kennedy Robert Kennedy Jr., because this came out last week, the people, you're anti-vaccine. Well, there's measles, right? There's a measles outbreak in Texas because people are not getting vaxxed. And his response to that is to say the measles outbreak is linked to poor diet and health, citing fringe fear. So what's going on here?
He issued a muffled call for vaccinations in the affected community, but said the choice was a personal one. He suggested that measles vaccine injuries were more common than known, contrary to extensive research. He asserted that natural immunity to measles gained through infection somehow also protected against cancer and heart disease, a claim not supported by research.
Okay, so look. So first of all, I don't think the anti-Semitism is going to get the burger out of my hand. And you say, "Oh, you keep the burger out of your own hand." I agree, but he got involved. But now he's focused on the health. But his whole thing is, it's causing measles. But with what policy is this? Are we outlawing Oreos because of this? I don't know. Can we bring up some pictures of kids with measles? Are they all fat? Are these kids all just like the fattest kids you've ever seen? Let's see.
I mean, these kids.
Let's see what we got here. Okay, these kids don't look that fat to me.
No, they look kind of normal size.
These are measles kids? They don't look like porkers. I don't see a porker in the lot. I mean, I guess that kid's arms are a little chubby on the left. This seems like
that might be the inflammation from the measles.
Look, I mean, these might be, yes, and these might be influencers, to be fair, who, the media gives you a false body image of the world, and baby's no exception. I was a terrible looking baby. They say every baby's cute. It's not true. So these babies don't look that fat. So, I mean, I don't understand really what's his point here. Can he just do what I mean, here's the thing. It's easy to shoot your mouth off about Hormel, chili, and Heinz ketchup, and Coca-Cola. Mm-hmm. But, they tend to have a lot of lawyers. And people get involved. I don't know. I mean, so it just seems like just outlaws. Just give me something. Give me something to work with here.
Right. Yeah. I mean, there was like one kid who died, I guess.
Right.
From the most recent outbreak. That was the first time in a while a kid has actually died of measles in the country.
So he was so fat that he fell through like a boardwalk and died? Is that what happened? And they're blaming on the measles. This kid was so fat that he tried to go into a boardwalk at Coney Island because he was planning on going to into the cyclone roller coaster, which could have killed a lot of people. So maybe it's for the best that he fell through the boardwalk because he was so fat with his measles.
The worsening measles outbreak, which has largely spread through a Mennonite community in Gaines County, has infected nearly 200 people and killed a child. So it's the first death in 10 years.
Oh, these are Mennonites. So basically, it was Amish people, basically.
Yeah, I think it's generally like in those communities. Also in New York, I think like Orthodox Jewish communities have the same thing. Like they're less likely to get vaccinated for measles.
And they're fat.
And they're fat as fuck.
Interesting. I don't know what anyone wants from me in this case. I would like for these kids to get better, but if we're gonna pretend to it's kind of like when a doctor, when you go like, hey, like I have this fucking like pain in my arm, like it's like a wound here, it's like an infection. It's like you're kind of overweight. I understand that, but this is like an infected arm.
Yeah.
It's like you could see the pus. I think I was bit by an animal of some sort. I go, it'd be better if you were less fat. Doctors really, and I get it. I mean, it seems like they're supposed to be smart people. Mm-hmm. So you would think they'd be able to kind of like process that and then move on. But they really don't like it when you're fat and you ask for help.
Right.
Like, hey, I've got shot. Well, you are kind of a fat fuck. Right, but it's like I was protesting the line in Riyadh. I was shot in the shoulder. I
was shot in the line riots.
Oh, you shot at the line riots? We were all trying to rush into the line. And the doctor was like, well, did you try losing, not being disgusting? Maybe you sure they didn't shoot you because you were fat and you were going to eat all the food? Like, I guess I'm not sure.
Yeah, this is just getting honestly, I was like open-minded about Robert Kennedy a little bit. Like,
yeah.
I was like, maybe, you start mandating, katas for children.
Yeah.
Everybody will get less fat. It'll be a just better time in general.
Right.
Ban some sodas. Yeah, like, I was down for all of that.
We're all America's all about balancing liberty with like helping people.
Yeah.
Kind of. Not really balancing. but but that's the idea. Like, we're always kind of conflicted in theory with like, we don't want to encroach on your rights, but also like, these companies are feeding you poison and they're advertising. And it's like, yeah, that is true. That does seem to be true. They are selling you poison with advertising and they're programming you to eat the food.
They get them when they're young.
Yeah. And so I was like, yeah, maybe maybe you shouldn't have the right to stop it, but all right, let's see where this goes. And it's like, fucking these fat measles kids.
Yeah. It's like, this is just free associating. Like, it's just like, if my kid died of measles, Twix is the problem.
Yeah, which, again, it couldn't hurt to not eat Twix, I guess. Mm-hmm. I mean, you tell that to how much joy I get out of Twix. Me and my friends at the line. Me and my friends who live in the line, we all love to eat Twixes. And at night we go out with torches. and we find stragglers. Speaking of
I wonder if, like, there's always, I feel like this will be a problem for forever.
Yeah.
Just follow me here. But like, there's always going to be this problem where something gets invented, something gets resolved,
right,
and it fixes things. And people live without it for a while.
Yeah.
And they just assume that they don't need the thing
right,
that got rid of it.
What's the history of mental illness, right? Like, or isn't that every single mental illness case ever? It's like, hey, like, here's some drugs to help you. Oh, thanks. Now I don't need them. It's like, well, here's the rub. We didn't cure anything. We just shoved some mayonnaise in your head that stopped you from, like, wanting to touch the girl on the subway or whatever. I don't want to stigmatize mental illness,
right, but
I just did, and I don't care. Whatever. Come at me. So yeah, I mean, what would you like to see him do? I would like to see three things. I would like to see him outlaw gummy worms. I like to see him put build some kind of contraption where I'm chasing an animal throughout the city. Like, that'd be a fun thing.
Oh, kind of like merging like a treadmill with Pokemon Go or something. Yeah,
but I just have like a big raccoon tied to my, like, around my waist.
Oh, that's
like
fun.
A rope, and then he's running, and if I fall, like, I guess, like, and if I also have like a knife on my head to hurt me if I fall, or maybe just a brick tied to my head, so if I fall, it's gonna hurt my head. Because you need that carrot and stick.
Right.
So so I'm just running to try to keep up with the raccoon, because if I let it go and then I'll trip on the way. I mean, I think a raccoon could pull me down, but I feel like trying to keep up with them, I could trip on a curb, and then the brick will kind of compound the impact.
Can I ask you a question about this?
Yes.
What is your incentive to catch the raccoon?
No, it's just because it's maybe good point. It should be like a horse.
Right.
I should be tied to a horse, because a horse could drag me down. Scratch the raccoon. Good point. Keep the big rock on my head. And I'm tied to a horse, and I go through Central Park.
Yeah, I like that.
Sure. I bet you do. I bet you love the idea of me being tied to a horse.
Can I be on the horse?
Yeah, you can be on the horse.
Hell yeah.
I mean, honestly, the fact that you're not means you don't care about me. So, congratulations. What would you like from Santa Kennedy?
I think that he should ban 2-liter bottles of soda.
That's my favorite thing.
And, he should ban. I think he should also include some kind of mandated, like, or just available kind of like plastic surgery. We don't have universal health insurance in this country, and we might never have it.
Right. But you want him to give, like.
But imagine if you could get, the biggest blowjob lips you wanted, or the stiffest forehead you wanted,
right?
Just for free. It's a pretty good concession.
Where would the lips go?
Where would they go?
Like the blowjob lips go? Like they're gonna put the lips on my junk? Oh, you mean you?
No, you could get them.
I don't want blowjob lips.
Okay. Well, then you might
not. If you want to put some kind of disembodied lips on me, I'm open to the idea.
If you want, maybe there's also a thing where do you want some holograms in your pupils?
I want holograms everywhere. Mm-mm. There's nothing more exotic and futuristic than a hologram. Holograms are. I mean, when I was a kid, the best thing in the world was when you have a comic book or a baseball card that had a hologram. You had, you find a hologram of like a butterfly, and you go, this is like, I don't want to tell anybody because it's kind of lame, but like, I love holograms. I love them. I don't know what they are. I don't know how they work. Something to do with lasers.
I'm kind of amazed that we don't have a big hologram pop star in the U.S. yet.
Right.
They've had them in Japan for a while.
Well, they have.
Yeah.
Who's a big hologram? I don't know. So to be clear, you're talking about the holograms like when Tupac was a hologram.
I don't remember when Tupac was a hologram.
He was the first one.
He was the first person to become a hologram?
I think so.
That's crazy.
Well, the first big one. Yeah, who'd you think it was? Gore Vidal?
It just seems random. How was he chosen?
Because he was dead. I don't. Did you happen upon a book called The History of Holograms by Ray Kump? I don't know.
Here she is.
What are you showing me? This is the Japanese hologram girl.
This is Hatsune Miku.
Oh, so she looks like an anime girl.
Sensational virtual pop star. She's released over 100,000 songs in multiple languages.
I mean, how is this?
Performed sold-out concerts.
I don't understand. Who's this for? It's for children?
Her image has appeared in games, on TV, in car races, and is even etched on the side of a Japanese space rocket.
All right, enough of this.
I came from Hudson.
Who's this? Who's this girl in a bikini?
Oh, is this the actual singer?
I don't know. So this is so you have an anime girl. Mm-hmm. Or grown men in Japan going to these concerts and going yeah, this is for me, or is this for little kids?
I mean, I'm not exactly sure. I think it's probably a youth culture thing,
right? But
I don't know if businessmen were going to see this, would it be that crazy?
Yeah, no, it'd be really weird. It'd be just weird having vending machines where they sell used panties. That's weird. We can say it's weird. They dropped bombs on us. I don't know where this idea where we can't offend Japan came from.
Right.
You guys instigated a war. You go, you blockaded oil and you wanted us to attack. Well, you fell for it. I don't know what to tell you. We wanted to become a global hegemon. That's how we did it. You played yourself. But I mean, no, it's not everything everyone does is stuff in Japan. That's the thing. Plenty of people don't do it. But I don't know why they get a pass. Some people give them a pass for their creeps. Our creeps are much less ingenious. I'll give you that much. Our creeps tend to just goose you, or put you in some kind of backyard dungeon they built,
right?
Because they're better at building things, maybe. Mm-hmm. Japan builds tremendously great things, but I think that they tend to be a culture where you see less building of a makeshift dungeon to keep your daughter or whatever, right. Which I've seen in the Western world more of. I feel like, but the fact that she's that you had to learn you had to go to Pratt. I mean, who draws anime? People go to Pratt. People go to the School of Visual Arts. I don't know how you get into the anime world. There's a big just because you have an artistic credential doesn't mean you're not a creep.
That is a good point.
But that being said, I don't think the creep. Well, I'm all over the place here.
It's better. What do you think is better? Being a grown man and going to a concert like this, or watching tentacle porn?
I mean, this is I'm not answering any of this. Am I being questioned in the closet of the line? This feels like in the line every week you have to go and and answer a bunch of weird take another IQ test. It's just questions like this, tentacle porn, or this. Why know you people are into in this? You don't got any answer I give you.
This is the last question you hear in the line interrogation before they start ripping your fingernails off.
Yeah. They probably rip a few first, just for good measure. So that's great, but whatever. So like, I guess there's holograms in Japan, but what do we have here? We have more holograms.
Well, since you're such a fan of holograms, maybe you should start seeing a hologram doctor because they have those now.
This is what we have here. We have
in Japan, it's a pop star. Here, it's a doctor.
So the hologram. This is from the Wall Street Journal.
Yes.
I don't know where they lie on things. I don't trust it. But they're supposed to be conservative. But then I don't know. The hologram doctor will see you now. Oh, I get it. A Tennessee cancer clinic is beaming doctors out to rural areas. A new model of telehealth that goes beyond clunky video conferencing systems. This is interesting. So this is the thing where I'm a hologram. I go with a doctor. I go next to 7-Eleven. Mm-hmm. And I get myself a cheeseburger big bite. That's pretty dry, but it's been there for 2 days, and a big gulp of Dr. Pepper, and then I house that, and then I go see my hologram doctor next, in the basically the shack next to it, mm-hmm. And that's the doctor's office. Because a lot of these places around the country don't have enough space for a doctor to or just not enough people for doctors or. Why is this?
Well,
do they always have doctors? Why do we need hologram doctors?
Well, this is apparently a solution to a lot of people, like in rural areas.
Yeah,
hospitals are understaffed.
Right.
It's not as easy to see a doctor.
Right.
So this is the solution. If you're out in rural America, you see a hologram. That's what you get, and you slurp it down and you enjoy it.
Okay, so the point is, you go into an area, so urgent cares are one. I've been to urgent cares, and then, and you have some kind of growth in your leg, and they tell you, well, you have to go to the ER. Like, well, I don't think it's that bad. And they go, well, we can't help you. Mm-hmm. I go, why did I pay you $100? But now I get to go, and then I'll see a guy who's dressed up as an anime character, a schoolgirl. Can my doctor be a little anime schoolgirl?
This looks like, it almost looks like he's pretending that he's in heaven, this doctor. This is a video he made for his grandchild to help her cope with his death.
Grandpa's not alive anymore, but you have his genes, so you're also gonna have heart disease when you're older. I don't know. It's like, why is he all? I mean, he's in Detroit in some hospital, abandoned hospital / hydroponic grow house, and the offer came. All right, so last year, some cancer patients in Tennessee and Mississippi got a startling offer. Instead of video conferencing with oncology specialists located hours away, they could see a hologram doctor, courtesy of the same special effects that projected the Jonas Brothers and other celebrities at live events. So that's good. So it's hey, you're already dealing with your cancer over the phone, right?
Right.
Or Skype. You're already Skyping about your cancer. How about instead of watching it on your bootleg iPad, your Android tablet, you get to see me in 3D. The offer came from West Cancer Center and Research Institute, a health system that employs about 61 doctors. Its doctors typically spend hours on the road, so they're basically on the road all the time. So instead of being on the road, they can be holograms now. You get my body language, my hand motions. I'm a squid on the bottom, but you don't necessarily see that. But I know, so it makes you feel better. I'm a giant squid. There's expression that is able to be conveyed, which, as you can imagine, is an oncology visit is very important. You're not pixelated. They aren't crazy parts of your body missing. It's really amazing. This is my favorite. I actually did read some of this before. Patients, however, aren't being projected as holograms to the doctors in the clinics. They communicate via camera, and you're an intentional choice, Richley said, to give the patient rather than the doctor the more realistic experience. Sure, you're doing it for the patient. Mm-hmm. You're doing it for us, not because it's expensive to build elaborate hologram rigs. So this is not really helping anything. This is like making you feel better about the fact that the guy is like in the Taco Bell drive-thru, like looking at your Carposi scars. You're fucking, your friggin' legions.
I also just like imagine like the same like sympathetic nod, right?
Yeah.
That guy just getting recorded and projected out to like 10 different patients.
Yeah, you're shoving your crotch in this guy's face effectively, in his hologram's face, and he's got like the camera. He's driving an Uber, and he's got it mounted on like the dash. He's glancing over. Oh, all right, yeah, that could be bad. That looks gooey. How's it smell, sweetie? How's the wound smell? Not good. And you know it's gonna be like they're gonna like it's gonna have AI like listening to the guy, and as soon as some like diagnosis like it's gonna come off mid sentence and go, if you want the full diagnosis, please upgrade to Pro model.
This is great. I can see the patient well enough to recognize a rash or a lump or a problem.
Hey, I've been doing this for years. I'm really good at being a doctor. I can see well enough to see a rash or a lump or a problem.
I can't feel everything, but oftentimes that's all we need.
Here's what, sweetheart. I want you to reach down there and just feel the lump. What's it? Is it squishy? Does it have some purchase to it? What we got here? What are we dealing with? Don't mince words. It feels hard. Oh, hard's not good.
I love how you need to get limousine health insurance now to get a doctor to touch you in a way you don't even like.
Right. Yeah, it's like grab your own balls and cough. The hardware and software is provided by Proto Hologram, a Los Angeles-based startup known for creating holograms at concerts. Well, that's great. Who's come up with this? The guys who made the Jonas Brothers. I don't know what they call their tour, like we kiss each other sometimes tour. Isn't one of them? Are they all alive still?
One of them fell off a balcony and died.
That wasn't one of the Jonas Brothers.
It was, I think.
I think that was a different guy. I think that was one of the guys. That was a guy from like something else. He was in like a different band.
Oh, maybe that was. Oh, that's right. Yeah. He was One Direction, I guess.
Oh, it was One Direction.
Sorry about that.
Right. No, the Jonas Brothers, they're all alive. If they're not, then I won't be. I promise you that much, everyone. If the Jonas Brothers don't live, I don't live.
I don't want to live in a line without the Jonas Brothers.
That's right. I will not be going to Riyadh without even at least one Jonas brother. So that's really. Oh, it's interesting. It's interesting development. I mean, I would love to get some. I would love to get some stuff looked at in the middle of the night and just have a doctor's digital face staring up at my asshole. This seems ideal. This seems like an ideal situation. I mean, this really is the age of this is the golden age of, and companies are really starting to kind of get in line. They're starting to figure things out for the consumer. They really start. Okay, Southwest will begin charging for checked bags, ending a popular policy. I didn't know they had free check. I never check my bag. Well, I did. It's okay. I hate it when you do. You check your bag, and in your bags, you gotta wait for an hour.
Yeah.
Well, some guy tells you how he won his trip. we were in New Orleans once. The guy was telling me, I won my trip from Marlboro Miles. I'm like, that's great, dude. And he's like, wouldn't shut up about it. But lifelong friend though.
Great guy.
Love you, Bob. Customers with the highest loyalty status will be spared from the fee, but others will have to pay for checked bags. Well, people might, take issue with this because, airline, there's never been a time I remember where air travel seemed more precarious. 9/11 might have been a bigger effect on the situation, but I don't remember planes having issues anywhere near as much as they have now. There was crashes. There was the thing in Korea where it went into a wall. There was the plane that landed upside down and they gave everyone $30K, which is like a very strange game show.
Yeah.
And you would think some people might go, well, maybe it's not the best time to take away benefits. And I say this is the best time because people like to, play games. People like to go, well, we have all the lever. I'm going to complain about all these air prices because, you guys aren't keeping us safe. And they go, this is how you nip that in the bud. When your industry is in the middle of like and this is business advice for the future, right?
Yeah.
This might as well be a business podcast right now. When your company is facing scrutiny, when your industry is facing scrutiny because of a lot of problems that are endangering people, take more away from them. Anytime you're in a situation, take more away. Someone got sick at my restaurant. Sue them for slander. Also, take menu items off. Your pizza sauce gave my kid autism. Well, no more pizza sauce for anyone. You start making because he's like, squeaky wheel gets the grease. But if you stop giving out grease, then everyone gets mad at the squeaky wheel. Right?
That's right.
That's how you deal with a customer. So you go, it's easier to retain a customer than, it costs 5 times less to retain a customer than to get a new one. Well, what if I just, make a problem with the reservoir? I dump a bunch of stuff in there and then no one can drink water. You still have a problem with my seltzer bottles, having sharp objects in them? You still have a problem with that? You make a bigger problem.
Right.
That's how things get solved.
I wonder how you prove that you're the highest loyalty customer.
How do I prove I'm the highest loyalty? You're asking me how I would prove?
If I get a tattoo, if I get a tramp stamp of a Southwest Airlines plane,
now
will they check my bag for free?
To be clear, not everyone knows what a tramp stamp is.
Or are they still gonna have an attitude?
That's a very millennial thing to talk about. We're trying to be trending for the young. Don't forget tramp stamps, or when a woman gets a tattoo on her lower back, and it used to be a real nice thing. It went away. Because we used to have those, maybe because we have high-waisted jeans now. But I used to love those low-waisted jeans with a little whale tail and a tramp stamp. Oh, yeah. Nice stuff. The yachts were a great time. So what are you saying if you have a tramp stamp what?
Of a Southwest Airlines plane, will they check my bag?
I would put you in jail.
Still have an attitude?
If I'm Southwest, I'm putting you in jail. You know how you prove your high-low? What?
Hard to get.
Yeah, you play hard to get. You go and you go. If you want to mess around, we have flights that go to the line in Riyadh. Is it in Riyadh? Is it in Riyadh or Saudi Arabia?
I only saw Saudi Arabia.
Yeah, I don't know why I keep saying Riyadh. Riyadh's a city. The line is in the desert. I love if that's the only thing they take issue with. You keep saying in Riyadh. It's not in Riyadh. It's a prison in the desert. How would I prove I'm the Southwest? I would get up and start screaming on the plane. I would get up. If someone had a baby, I would ask if I could borrow the baby for a moment, because people are less likely to attack you when you have a baby in your hands. That's why parents have you need to incentivize people to have kids. Just start attacking people. Make that known. First of all, get that out there. That we're gonna start billy clubbing people, but less likely if you have a baby in your hands. You'll start people having kids overnight. Make them a necessary prop. But I would get up and I would start screaming on the plane, I'm not happy with the way things are going. I pay a lot of money to have my body massaged by professionals. And now you're gonna make me pay to have my bags checked? Are they what? Erotic massage? I don't know what that means. I'm not gonna answer that. All right? I have a problem with my bag. And I would start shaking and I would say to the flight attendant, like, you thought things were bad before. Well, wait till we get to Saudi Arabia. And I would say, this plane's going to Saudi Arabia now. And they would really go, no, it's not. And people start freaking out.
Yeah.
Because I would wait till we got up in the air.
Oh, yeah.
People always start freaking out while they're sitting.
That's the wrong move.
If anyone ever gives you, I've seen it happen myself on planes where people were kind of getting pissed. And I get it because it's they're in the back. It sucks back there. People they don't even treat it like a person unless you're in first class. And then someone starts giving you shit and then you have no recourse. You wait till you're in the air. And then you start screaming about how this plane's going to go to Saudi Arabia now. And now people are panicking and go, what's going on? Is this guy in charge? Well, he's yelling the loudest. Interesting. What an interesting development this is. And they start, putting strain on the flight staff. And then that's when you have people in a position to start giving you nice things. How about a comped bag check? How about a nice wine spritzer? How about we tie you to the chair? That could happen too. But you have to, it's all about taking the initiative. Now, never threaten anybody.
Yeah, but it's like if you are gonna be that guy.
Yeah.
The best thing you can do is to demand something simple like a free checked bag.
Right. This plane's going to Saudi Arabia unless I get my bag checked for free. I'm like, we're confused. Did you check your bag already? I did, but I had to pay. I would like to either be paid back for that, or you can give me drinks. Give me whiskeys, at least. Give me 4 whiskeys on the rocks. Space them out. Doubles, 4 doubles, and then we can go where we're going, Branson. But otherwise, we're going to Saudi Arabia, and then people it's gonna get hairy because the flight attendant's gonna be like, "What are you talking? We're going where we're going." But people are gonna panic. People around you, the people eating smelly food and eating out of their kid's diaper. These people with the baby. This was, do you think parents do that?
Do it what?
You think these parents ever just start eating out of the kid's diaper? Disgusting. On a plane? I don't know. Whatever. I'm not gonna speculate, but it's just possible. It's possible. But these are the people who are gonna help you. Not if you say the right things. If you panic them, panic other people, make other people panic. You don't panic. You stay calm. You make other people panic, but not the target. Not the people. You know what I'm saying? You have to make your surroundings panic.
And then the target is vulnerable.
Yeah, and the target is just getting your bag checked for free.
It's not that big of a deal.
Right. I'm not asking you for anything weird. I'm not asking you to release someone from prison, some war criminal or whatever. It's not the 70s, right? I just don't want to pay that my bag check.
If you don't meet my demands, I'm taking this plane to Saudi Arabia, and it's not that big of a deal.
I think it's fine. I think people need to wisen up. Start doing push-ups. Start doing sit-ups. Get your blood moving. Feel better about yourself. And stop. And look, if something does feel off, you go to the line. You go to the shack inside of the line in Saudi Arabia, and you open the hydraulic processing room / doctor hologram, and you take off your clothes. And you ask them, do you see any Kaposi scars or whatever? Do you see any lesions or lumps, in my back? And he'll munch on a hot dog and look. I mean, sometimes you're gonna have a guy eating a hot dog, just telling you I'm sorry, you have cervical cancer. Oh God, Shake Shack's actually better than I remember. And it is, by the way.
Oh, it's amazing.
It is. Oh, it's honestly, I slept on that for years. It's actually pretty tasty. Smash burger, because you smash the patty down and you get more surface area or something. I don't know. It's marvelous. So if you like the show, don't forget, we're here. You can subscribe. We're always here. So subscribe and notify.
And
tell everybody about it. Go on Reddit and be like, you know what? I just watched this crazy show called Kump, and he's talking about the line, and he's talking about measles kids getting fat. Whatever. Paraphrase me. Share a clip. Tell everyone that I'm a problem. I don't care. I want you in the comments. We should have done this earlier. In the comments, talk about what's your version of spring? What do you like in the spring? I had a rotten animal. Lucie had some pool or something. Mm-hmm. What is your first time for spring? That's not a sentence.
What is your greatest memory of spring?
Yeah, what immediately lets you know spring is here? And also, would you move to Saudi Arabia to go to the line? One of those two. Answer both of them. And now I'm going to interact with you now. This is going to be an interactive show sometimes. I'm going to interact. I'm going to be creeping in the comments going, ooh, that does sound like spring. Let's go to Riyadh.
Maybe we'll become holograms.
I would love to be a hologram and also not be alive.
It would be the most pointless use of a hologram ever to just use it for a podcast with 2 people.
It'd be, I mean, it would be, I just want to get measles. So I mean, maybe that's the problem. Maybe the problem is maybe I've had measles this whole time.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah. So remember, patreon.com/RayKump. Extra episode every week. Like and subscribe. This is the Kump Podcast. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you next week. Have a great week.